So we're farming in sugarcane, legumes in rotation in Bundaberg, Queensland. There we are. We're relatively close to the city and the beach. We're one block, a couple of hundred hectares, which is probably small for a lot of you guys, but we are very well located, which is good for me and my family. Probably not good for expanding, as our land prices and things are getting a bit out of control with pressure from the city and tree croppers. There's a strong focus on building soil carbons, biology, improving soil health, sustainable and controlled traffic farming systems. Our row spacing is 1.83 metres. So we started off with the cane harvester. It's the only machine we have to buy and we can't move. They manufacture them, so you pull the wheels off and stick it in the shipping container. They won't go any wider. We're limited also for road transport. Due to the smaller and close to city farms, we're continuously moving on road. So as soon as we get over that 2.4 metres, we're up for signs, then you're up to your 3.5 metres, escorts, and it's just out of control. We're travelling on highways, major roads, arterial roads. So we're really restricted to our row spacing, unfortunately. Originally, cane was grown, I heard somebody say it before, as wide as the horse's ass. So they started off down around 1.2 metre row spacings, and it's gradually grown with machinery. And unfortunately, there is farmers that have forgotten to grow as well. The farming system is minimum for zero till. Summer and winter legume break crops, which we harvest all of them. So everything we grow, we try to harvest. We've only got one cover crop we don't harvest. 100% irrigation, about 4.5 megs plus recycling water per hectare. So it's a full-time job irrigating. Even though we're in 1,000 millimetre rainfall, I'm trying to cram in as much growing time as I can, so we're flat irrigation. High pressure winches, low pressure boom irrigators, flood irrigation, 100% trash retention. I don't really know anything about sugarcane farming, but at one stage it was all burnt. Burn it all up, rake it all up, get rid of everything. But that's the most valuable part of our system is our 18 to 20 tonnes per hectare of dry organic matter after harvest off a good crop of cane. So that's gold to me. I don't want to get rid of it. Well, all operations are done on GPS. Bar one, you're going to catch me out. I've found a tractor in here that I didn't put a GPS on it. So for farm planning, because we're growing sugarcane for 4 years and we have 20% of our farm out of sugarcane at any one time, for chemicals, sprays, our legume rotation, I need to identify the farm in individual pieces to maximise row length, block size. So I gradually set out the farm and chased a little bit of soil type, but so I maximised row length and block size. So at any one time, myself, my son, my employees know which part of the farm's coming in or out of cane, where it is in its stage. So as you can see, it's just colours I made up to represent a 5-year cycle. So I think that's a really important thing to me, to understand where we are in that 5-year cycle at any one time with a block. That's a good thing, isn't it? So this is what we don't want to see. This guy obviously has got lost, so he's just driving straight across the roads. No controlled traffic at all. Drive anywhere you like. So he's just lost his job if he comes on our farm, instantly gone, see you later, don't come back. These guys are still on the horse's arse width, so they're driving over 100% of the ground. The cane harvester is on its around the 1.83, 1.85 wheel spacing. Obviously the tractor's on there or somewhere wider. As you can see, that's where he's supposed to be growing his sugarcane. His wheel's running nicely up the middle. This one's trying to be in the wheel track here. So it's just squashing the crap out of everything, which we don't want to see, and I'm sure you guys try and avoid as well. So we've, in about, change picture, wrong button. So around about 2003, 2000, we decided we've got to get away from this compaction, and we grew some barley as a rotation. We baled it. We happened to have a need for some hay for selling, so we baled it, which we wouldn't do anymore because organic matter's too valuable to me. Then I did a single zonal tillage pass through here. That's our wheel track for the barley returning on it. Planted the cane in the same day. This is my 23-year-old son here, who wasn't 23 at the time, obviously, standing in the road. So it just shows you that it's perfectly planted. The cane came up. I had my father, who was an elderly gentleman, saying to me, "You're mad, you bugger. It's not going to work. You need to rip it crossways. You need to rotary hoe it. What are you doing? It's never going to work." Yet, not quite 20 years later, we're still doing it. And my son, he's an advocate for it. He catches anybody trying to cultivate or do anything or drive across the road, he's getting stuck in on, which is really great. So that's what cane harvester leaves behind, about 18 to 20 tonnes of dry organic matter on the ground after it's removed the top of the cane and all the leaves. Our growing zone is a 1.2 metre and then our 630mm wheel track. Hopefully with everything on GPS, the cane harvester and all our farm machinery, we never ever drive on this section here, we only ever drive here. To come out of sugarcane into our legume system, because of the huge organic load, and cane is a combination of a corn stool and a bamboo stool. So you know a bamboo, look, it's just a massive big ball of roots. So cane's somewhere between corn and bamboo. So we need to break it slightly to be able to plant with a double disc opener in there somehow. So some of our cane comes out of cane into a legume system at the beginning, which we harvest June, July. The other part comes out in November, October, November time. The early one, we'll do a zonal rip, and then we'll broadcast tillage radish, field peas, barley and sunflowers. Just spread it everywhere. This is the tractor I got caught out, no GPS, but he's a really good driver. So we just broadcast it everywhere, wheel tracks, wherever it goes. And we do a zonal rotary, 1.2 metres of each bed. But there's no cultivation happening here at all. That's still the original wheel track, even though a bit of dirt and stuff gets chucked in there, trash. At this stage, it's the only way we can figure out how to level a bed out to plant 4 rows on and get the header to cut everything at an even height. If we were to leave it with our rounded bed profile, the soy's down the side of the stool, you're heading up in the pod, the rest of it you're trimming off nicely in the middle. So we need to somehow figure out how to get a flat bed. But this is planting a cover crop, so this is what we should establish. As you can see, there's tillage radish, barley, sunflowers, field peas, good mixture in there. Should get nice and thick looking like that. We usually water this if we've got water available, otherwise we rely on rainfall, but I want to get as much biomass, so we attempt to water it as much as we can. That's the tillage radish halfway through before I spray it out. As you can see, he's down there, nearly 10 inches long into the ground, burrowing down. As he gets bigger and fatter, he's right down there, 420. I've broken him off, as you can see. He's probably down 500-600 into the ground, digging a dirty great big hole in the ground for me. Looks like that. So I've sprayed that crop out. The tillage radish, they've all gone rotten in the ground. They've left a big hole in the ground, 300-400 deep. So any rainfall event we get falls down in there. It's a bucket, lets it soak in nice and slowly. Our water holding capacity is not huge of our soils. 40, 60 mils is about our water holding capacity. So we want to catch as much as we can, let it sit there as long as we can and soak in. So after this next process, plant soybeans into it. So all that organic matter left there, just direct drill straight in. As you can see, our wheel tracks, we haven't driven on our bed, planting 4 rows of soys in there. We should end up with something looking like that. Plenty of biomass, which we want. Then we'll harvest those soys. Again, our headers on 3.66 metre row spacing, straddling 2 beds, driving on the same wheel tracks. Same day as the headers there, as you can see, heading over here, planting field peas. So we want something growing in our soil at all times. We don't want bare dirt ever if we can help it. Field peas coming up nicely. This was actually an old photo. At one stage we were only planting 3 rows of soybeans on each bed. Then I stuck my field peas and split the difference, put 4 rows. For no other reason than pure and simply biomass, I decided let's plant 4 rows of soybeans. We're not increasing our crop, but we're a huge biomass, smother the weeds, as much organic matter as we can get. Field peas should look reasonably like that. Harvest field peas, again, all that organic matter, spread it over the ground. That header unfortunately did not have a chopper on it. I want a chopper on every header to spread that hay as wide as I can and as evenly as I can. To come back to cane, we need to do a zonal pass in that 1.2 metre bed. Unfortunately, at this stage, our cane planters aren't a disc opener. They dig a furrow to plant the cane in the ground. I also contract, so I need to please a lot of other growers other than myself with my cane planter. If I was only planting my own cane, my choice would be some sort of double disc opening planter with zero-till planting. If we don't get our cover crops through to harvest, we'll plant straight into it with our cane planter after a zonal tillage. As you can see here, we're zonal tillage in here, planting cane here, same day again. Should look like that. I don't see a reason why I should be doing multiple passes, rotary hoeing, ripping like they did years ago. All the roots, everything we're doing is making our soil heaps more friable. There's plenty of organic matter laying around there. Unfortunately, this is one of our most vulnerable parts of our system coming into cane. We've got bare dirt, which I don't like. We also make on-farm compost. Out of anything I can get a hold of, any organic matter we can get to our farm for free, we'll put it in our compost. We can break it down. We band our compost beside our cane or in our cane row at approximately 18 to 20 cubic metres to the hectare. So this is only happening once every 5 years as we go into our cane cycle. To make a good profile for our cane harvester to cut the cane, unfortunately we need to do some cultivation in here. It's not really a cultivation, it's a grading process more so to make a rounded profile for the cane harvester to cut the cane off. So that's what we're doing here. Because we use flood irrigation, we literally grade that pass